how not to respond when someone calls you racist.
All right, well,
I'm allowed to have an opinion about this.
I mean, the reality...
I'll do another apology next week.
I'm allowed to have an opinion about this.
We'll get the podium ready.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about our apology podium.
Well, the apology podium is for sarcastic apologies. When it's a real apology. When it's a real apology, you know, I feel like it's a little inappropriate. But.
We'll have the podium next week. All right, well...
I'm allowed to have an opinion about this.
So it's interesting when I hear people say that.
You're a fucking loser, okay? Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
Stupid ass.
It's my opinion. Interesting. You want to make this about race so bad. It's two black men having an argument. I'm allowed to have an opinion on this.
This is pathetic, dude.
I'm going to explain why I'm unsubscribing from Ethan Klein and all of the H3H3 Productions channels. Basically, there's 3 main reasons why I'm done, and I'm going to break them down, like, right now.
Ethan, get a pen.
There you have it. If y'all want to fucking cancel me again for what I said, be my guest. I got nothing else to say about it.
Fill the room with the juice. That's a lot of loot. That bit fire. Yeah, she kinda cute.
Don't need any more big shots.
There was a beautiful time where this channel didn't have intros. I ate food. I sat here and I just talked, you know. And I want to go back to that time. Oh, while I eat this pizza, I'm done watching Ethan Klein. Listen, what's interesting to me is, one, when I saw said video that everyone's talking about him going on about James Charles, I saw it live and I was like, I can't do it. I literally had it in my ear for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And it just got to a point where I was just like, I can't listen to this anymore. And I'm not even a huge James Charles fan, but it was just more so like, guys, he kept going on and on, like, to the point where I was just thinking, okay, like, this is getting on the level of just straight bullying, and I don't really understand why I should be, like, listening to this and thinking it's funny, because nothing about it was funny. He just kept going on and on and on to a point where it was just like, okay, I'm over it. Thought I would do a video on it, decided not to, and now everybody's talking about it, which is hilarious, you know. So obviously, like I said before, there was a time on this channel where there was no intros, things were way more lax, and I definitely didn't feel as pressured as I am now. So I am trying to get back to those roots of mine. So we are going to be watching a video by a man named Conor Sandin. 32 subscribers, go show him some love. I remember what it was like to be a small YouTuber, and man, I still am a small YouTuber, but even smaller, right? And it was a fun time. I missed it. So yeah, go show his channel some love. Why not? Let's hop in here. So he made a video called Why I'm Done Watching Ethan Klein. 14 minutes long. Go get you a snack for sure. I already got me some water. Amazon Fresh is on the way. I have no juice right now, and I hate my life because of it.
Fill the room with the juice.
I really gotta stop drinking fizzy, sweet drinks, but it's like, man, you know what? I'm gonna buy this. That's what I need to order in bulk, because man, I'm to the point where I'm like, dude. Anyways, let's hop in here.
No, they had a school that was...
People are saying this sounds so anti-black. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about, you dumbass?
Whoa! Haven't seen this.
Fuck you. What's anti-black about what I'm saying, you fucking freak?
Whoa. First of all, if someone is saying anything that you're anti-anything and you're not that, that's not really the response you should have. Let's calm down here, buddy.
How dare you, idiot. I mean, it's disgusting.
Okay.
I mean, just fuck you.
All
What am I
right.
saying that's anti-black? You want to make this about race so bad. It's two black men having an argument. I have not said anything about race. It's about going up and fucking committing violence in response to a light joke. Shut the fuck up. Seriously. God.
Whoa. I am like so shook right now.
Stop watching my show, you moron.
Whoa.
He's just pathetically fucking, like, you don't have to see. First, I'm someone that's very conscious about race issues and stuff. You don't have to see everything through the prism of race. This is two men. This is fucking about toxic masculinity.
Whoa.
This is about someone who resorts to violence when they're angry. If you need to make this about race.
He's not wrong, but like, I always side-eye people that say like not everything is about race, because what do you mean by that? Because for somebody in my shoes or any skin color, such as this or darker, could argue. They could argue that point for sure, and say that everything is definitely about race. So it's interesting when I hear people say that.
You're a fucking loser, okay? Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
Stupid ass.
It's my opinion.
It's pathetic. Somebody called her racist so much on Twitter for this. I was like, I'm sorry, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm allowed to have an opinion about this.
I'm allowed to have an opinion about this. Interesting. You want to make this about race so bad. It's two black men having an argument. I'm allowed to have an opinion on this.
This is pathetic, dude.
Okay, Conor.
Hi, I'm Conor.
Hi,
and
Conor.
Welcome back to another episode of How Not to Respond When Someone Calls You Racist. So in this video, I'm going to explain why I'm unsubscribing from Ethan Klein and all of the H3H3 Productions channels. I want to start by saying that this is not the kind of video I want to make on this channel. I do not want it to be where I do takedowns of people and talk negatively about people or act like I'm better than anyone else.
Hey.
That is not what I want to do at all. And in my opinion, there's already way more than enough of that on YouTube, Ethan being one of those people.
Oh, yeah.
What I want to do is make videos that are about a bunch of different things. I want to look at tweets, just go through tweets and react to them and hopefully make a few jokes along the way. Because I don't like to focus on one thing for that long at a time, honestly. And so I just want to make what I want to listen to and what I want to watch.
I remember being like that too, Conor. The views will change your mind. Or at least I think all YouTubers go through it to the point where it's like, dang, I really want to talk about this, but everyone wants to talk about Trisha Paytas. Oh, I really want to talk about this, but everybody wants to talk about Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. You know what I mean? So good luck, but yeah, I know what you mean.
And this is not it. This is not what I want to be looking at. I don't like this kind of stuff. But I decided that it's more important for me to get this off my chest now.
I feel you.
And have my thoughts be time-stamped. Because I was considering waiting until my channel has more views. I want to be on the record of saying this now. And I want to get this off my chest now.
Do it
whether
now.
anyone watches it or not. Because
Go
this
show
is
them
something
some
really
love.
important to me. I've been a fan of Ethan's for so long. I've
Really?
been a fan since the first or second Ty Lopez video.
Wow,
It's
don't
like
even
one of
know
the
what that
funniest
is.
videos I've ever seen.
Ty Lopez.
The one that's called The Ty Lopez Conspiracy. When it came out at the time, I was actually following Ty Lopez and watching his stuff.
Dang.
Because back then I was Ty Lopez's exact target audience. I was a gullible, naive, ambitious young guy. I thought I was a lit.
Y'all, Ty Lopez followed me in 2015, and I almost went to one of his parties, and he's from Long Beach. I used to live in Long Beach, so that's where that connection is. But besides the freaking point, it's crazy how many people don't like Ty Lopez. I remember back then, I told my friend, and she was like, "Oh my God, Ty Lopez!" And I remember just thinking, yeah, he's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. I just thought he'd be a cool person to kind of network with and talk, but I ended up not even going to the party.
Living God, and I'm if I just watch all the self-help stuff and read these books, then I'll be the next Steve Jobs. I'll be the world's first trillionaire. I'll be the youngest president ever. All this shit. There's a lot of guys that go through that phase, and Ty Lopez knows that. And so that is one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. And to this day, still, whenever I'm reminded of or whenever I think about Ty Lopez, I hear Ethan's voice saying, "Get out of my head, Ty," and it's just so funny. So I just checked, and that video came out in October 2015. Yeah, so it's been 7 years, I guess 6.5 years.
He was popping
I've
back
been a
then,
fan the whole
Ty
time.
Lopez.
I've seen everything. I've been there through all the ups and downs. He showed a willingness to learn and improve, which I respect, and that's why I stuck with him. And I think a lot of people respect him for that. And I think that's part of why he has such a big fan base.
Right.
Recently, especially after
But he was lying.
Monday's episode, my respect for him is just basically gone. With
Man.
this whole Will Smith slapping Chris Rock thing,
Right?
I'm just done. I really am. So I'm going to be referring to a couple different parts of Monday's episode of his podcast, but I'm not going to include them in this video because I don't want to sit through it again. It just makes me really uncomfortable. It makes me cringe really hard. The way he treats his employees. I'm
I
not
couldn't
saying
watch
that he's
it.
an
I
abusive
stopped.
employer. I'm not saying that. But as someone who's had an abusive employer, I think we all have at some point, unfortunately, it just kind of reminds me of that. And so I don't want to sit through that again. He talks over them and interrupts them, and he's almost yelling at them at some point.
I was like, I
at some
can't watch
points. And I
Bye.
know that the crew says oh, we're all friends, and we took them to Vegas and blah blah blah. I know he's not an abusive employer. I'm just saying that it makes me uncomfortable to watch, and I don't want to watch it again. And then there's the parts where he is on the calls and he's doing the same thing with the callers. And he's saying, no one wants to engage, but then when he has the callers on, he won't let them engage. And he's like interrupting them and not letting them talk. And
I did
almost
not
yelling
like
at
it
them.
at all.
And it's like, that's just so uncomfortable for me. I don't want to sit through that again. Imagine if you're watching this, then you're probably a fan of his, and so you have probably seen the episode. So, if you want to go back through and watch it, then you do you. If not, then you're not going to see it in this video.
It's pretty bad.
So, basically, there's 3 main reasons why I'm done, and I'm going to break them down, like, right now. There's the 2 things that happened, which
Ethan,
was
get a pen.
Ethan's initial response when he tweeted about it, and then the second thing was, that's the clip I included at the beginning. And then the third thing is basically, I think I have a better understanding now. I had like sort of an epiphany about who Ethan is as a person, and he's just not someone I want in my life anymore. And so I'm going to explain all those things.
Why do I gotta laugh and stuff like this? He's just not somebody I want in my life anymore. We're done. Unsubscribe. Why am I so dramatic? No, but really though, the way he said that. He's just not somebody I want in my life anymore, okay? Done. I don't know what to tell you. Conor has spoken.
And then the second thing was, that's the clip I included at the beginning. And then the third thing is basically, I think I have a better understanding now. I had like sort of an epiphany about who Ethan is.
I love that.
As a person, and he's just not someone I want in my life anymore. So I'm going to explain all those things, basically.
Sorry.
So the first thing it was
Conor,
his initial...
I am not laughing at you, okay, sir? I'm just laughing because you're like, it's just not somebody I want in my life anymore. As if like Conor knows who the hell you are, or as if Ethan knows who the hell you are. My bad, Conor, Ethan. It sounds the same, don't it? I don't know. Whatever.
Reaction, which were his tweets on Sunday night, and
Sunday
I think
night.
it was a little. It wasn't racist, but it was just a little insensitive to not acknowledge any of the nuance of the situation or any of the context.
He didn't care at all.
It was a situation with 3 black
is
people,
crazy.
and Ethan is not black, and it would have gone a long way to just say, I realize I'm not black, but blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he didn't do that. He just jumped right in with the full sense of entitlement. He could just say whatever he wanted. And that rubbed me the wrong way. And I think it rubbed other...
But the reason that Ethan did that and the reason that he can do that and doesn't see why he can't do that is because of what is constantly given to white men literally every single day of their lives as they walk this earth. And I'm not trying to be rude or be like, I don't like white men or be jealous of them, but they're obviously privileged in a way that I think a lot of people don't even realize, and a lot of white males also don't realize. I've been in relationships where they have noticed certain things and been like, why did that just happen? And I'm like, oh, you're a white male, you probably don't experience things like that. And they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, like you probably don't experience like customer service not being that great, or like, people maybe being ruder to you or not catering to you in a certain manner. And they are blown away. Like literally like, whoa, I never even thought about that. I never thought that. I just thought like, that's just how everyone else is. I'm like, yeah, of course you're thinking that, but no. It's the same thing as like getting certain privileges is when you go to like certain hotels and things like that. Like I've had people be like, oh, just go to this, go to the front desk and tell them da 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 da, and I'm sure that they'll be able to accommodate that. That's what they do for me all the time. And I'm like, yeah, but that's probably not going to be the exact same situation for me, who's a black woman. And I know a lot of people may think that that is just not possible, but trust me, it is. And it happens a lot more than you would think. So I think that is more of the bigger conversation instead of just maybe Ethan, being Ethan. I think that it's more of the conversation is, does Ethan care to recognize his privilege and kind of when he puts his foot in his mouth, which he does a lot. But I don't think he cares, right? You have to care about stuff like that. And that kind of acknowledgement would mean that he would have to dismantle his ego in one way or another, which is just not something that the white man is going to want to do. Regardless if it's Ethan or not, it's just not something you normally see.
That people the wrong way. Again, I'm not saying that alone was racist. I think it was a little insensitive. And his initial response wasn't even enough to push me away at all. Like I was thinking, okay, this is what white people are going to do. This is just what they do. And it's not that, it doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. So I didn't really care that much about it. Maybe a little sad, but I was like, okay, whatever, I'll get over it. And the second thing is his response to when someone called him anti-black, and that is definitely too much for me. That is why I'm done. It was his reaction. Someone commented when he was talking, and someone commented and said, "You're being anti-black," and he just went on this 2-minute long rant, this like hateful tirade that of all the people I like and respect, that was by far the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. There's a lot of people out there who, I don't respect at all, who have done way worse things, obviously. But of the ones that I've genuinely considered like people I want to be in my life, I want to be listening to and having,
No, I know what you mean, Conor. I'm sorry. People that I want in my life. No, I'm sorry. I know what you mean.
having their input on things, that was just way too far for me. It was genuinely repulsive. And I was immediately done after that. Now, I understand why Ethan was so upset by this. Because when you know you're not racist, and by the way, I know he's not racist. I know Ethan is not racist, and I know that he never means to do or say racist things. But when you know that you're not, and when I think of racism in my head, I think like, truly evil, hateful people. Like Trump, or
which is really not what it is.
Ben Shapiro, or those fucking idiots that run Turning Point USA, or whatever the hell it's called, or like Fox News. You know what I mean? So when someone calls you that, it's really hurtful because you know you're not, and you know you're better than those other hateful people. So it's like it really stings. But when you're talking about 3 black people and someone's,
it really stings. Didn't we talk about this in another video like months ago? I think we did, and I remember being like, I don't understand people who get upset about them calling them racist. Like, I feel like, why would I get upset about something? That's like somebody coming up to me and calling me like, oh, you're just a terrible white woman. You gross white, I don't know, honky or something. But I'm not a white woman, right? So why would I get upset about that? I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. That's great. Like, opposed to like, oh my gosh, don't call me a white woman. I am not a white woman. I am a black woman. How dare you call me a white woman? I am a black woman. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm literally putting in so much energy into announcing and stating that I'm black. Like, no, I'm nothing like a white person. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're not racist, you wouldn't get upset. I don't know if I'm wrong or right on that, but for me, that's how I see it. I don't see. It's so weird. It's literally, if like somebody could literally tell me right now that I'm racist. Like right now, you're racist. You don't really date that many black guys. You always looking for white men. Like whatever they want to say that they could dissect in my life and literally like have evidence. I would still not care. I would still be like, okay. Anyways, because I literally know that that's not necessarily something that I engage in. I don't engage in like constant, like I want to be racist and I don't like, you know what I mean? Like that's just not what I engage in. Like, obviously I still like black people. Obviously I still hang out with black people. Obviously that's not something that I'm like scared of, right? Or something that I wouldn't want to necessarily do. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't understand the whole like, yeah, it would be hurtful. It would sting if they called me racist, because that's not what I am. I don't get that. I don't know if that's a white thing. Am I wrong? Can y'all please give me some clarity here? Because I don't know why, but I really don't see it that way. I'm like, you could literally sit here and call me anything from diabetic to a cancerous, toxic person. I'm literally still going to sit here and be like, yeah, anyways. Because that's just not how I identify myself, so whatever.
Says, hey, you're being a little anti-black. The way you respond
to me.
That shows who you really are.
That's what I'm saying. He
responded
responded so angrily.
For 2 minutes and like swear and say the F word 1,000,000 times and just show the most disgusting display of, hate. That is much worse. You know what I mean? That makes you such a worse person than anything you were saying in the first place. If you just stop and just ask and just say, hey, can you please explain to me what you mean by that? And then you sit and listen and don't interrupt, which Ethan, basically can't do at all.
Constantly interrupt.
That goes a long way. That would basically eliminate any possible risk of you seeming racist in the first place. But Ethan didn't do that. What he did was what I showed you in that clip at the beginning of the video. He showed who he really is. And that's someone who's weak, who's small, who gets defensive way too easily.
Not small, because you know exactly where I went mentally. And yeah, I can see it being small. No offense, but I can see it being small.
Can't take criticism, and when he feels like he's being attacked, he just shuts it down, and he doesn't have the self-control or the self-awareness to stop himself.
Dun, 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 dun,
And he
dun, dun.
just tries to belittle the person who criticized him in the first place.
Literally.
And that brings me perfectly to my third point, which is I think I
was
know
like,
enough about
"Dang,
Ethan now to
Are you good?"
understand who he is to an extent that I don't want him to be in my life anymore. Now, to be clear, I'm not an expert. I'm not a
Connor.
psychologist.
You're
I'm
killing
not
me.
qualified to like assess someone from afar and
want
decide
him to
who
be
they
in my
are,
life anymore.
especially someone I've never met. So I get that, but I think that my understanding of what's going on here with him, I think that it wouldn't be that controversial. I think that most people would agree. My understanding is that he basically hates himself and he suffers from depression.
Okay.
And to his credit, he is in therapy and he is being treated for it. I'm absolutely certain that the world would be a much better place if more men would go to therapy, particularly straight men. Now, me, myself, I don't trust therapists. I've never been and I never will go. I don't need therapy. And that's because my masculinity...
The contradiction of that, Connor, I'm going to need you to clean that up. More straight men should go to therapy. Also, I definitely don't go, and I don't think I'm going to ever go, and I don't trust them, and I'm never going to ever have a therapist. But also, I think it'd be a better world if more straight men... Connor.
alone, it just more than makes up for all the problems in my life. So
Okay.
for me in particular, I don't need it. But for other guys, you know,
But for other
no, I'm just
guys,
kidding. I
got
went
it.
to therapy like
Okay.
twice, and it immediately changed my life. just from 2 times, like I've been to therapy more than twice, but I mean like on my second session, it immediately improved my life. Like since then. But
Okay.
seriously, the world would be such a better place if more straight guys would go to therapy. It would reduce the overall like amount of toxic masculinity there is in the world,
Valid.
which is a net positive.
Valid.
But Ethan has like fallen into this cycle where because he hates himself, it makes him feel better to like shit on people who he's better than. And so what he does is he finds people who he is objectively better than, people who we all agree like Ethan is a much better person than X. You know, the Ryan Kavanaughs, the Keemstars of the world, the fucking, you know, the David Dobrik's, you know, abusers and narcissists and manipulators and scammers and, you know, liars.
Crazy David Dobrik's in that lineup now, right? Kind of threw me off hearing it. I was like, oh, the David Dobrik's. Oh, what a time we're in now, you guys.
We all know Ethan is a much better person than them. And so I think that fuels this like cycle in him where because he knows he's better than them, it makes him feel better. And so he's fallen into this trap where he's like just clinging to shitting on people. And even though he's better than them, that's not really the kind of person I want to be around. You know, the podcast is like there's 2 or 3 per week. That's like 6, 7, 8, 9 hours per week. And they say that, you know, you are who you spend the most time around. And by they, I mean Ty Lopez. I actually learned that from Ty Lopez, ironically. But it's true. Like the people who you spend the most time with, they have a huge influence on who you are.
You learned that from Ty Lopez? God. How old are you poor... How old are you? Oh, God. Aw. I didn't know people were actually, like, learning things from Ty Lopez like that. Oh, wow.
And so I just don't want that person, you know, I don't want to be watching and listening to that person
Wow.
for 6 to 9 hours a week. Because that's just not something I want in my life anymore.
I'm so surprised.
And I feel like I've given him so many chances. There's been so many times where I was like, I don't like that. But, you know, he's
Wow.
clearly working on himself. He's clearly trying. I believe he
feel
is a
so
good person.
old.
And he wants to be better. But I've just given him so many chances. And I did the same fucking thing with Joe Rogan. I listened to that guy for way too long. I gave that guy way too many chances.
Oh, wow.
And maybe I'm biased because I'm also a straight guy. You know, and like straight guys, we tend to just think that all other straight guys are perfectly fine and like make excuses for them. So maybe that's what's happening, but I have to just admit it to be honest with myself and just say like, this is not what I want in my life anymore. So yeah, those are the 3 reasons why. And to be clear, I know I'm not a psychologist. I know I'm not an expert. And it's just at the point where it's like, if I'm wrong about who he is, I'm okay with it at this point. Life is short. I only have so much time to enjoy what I want to enjoy. I don't owe everyone infinite chances. It's up to me what I watch and listen to. And I think I have a pretty good idea of who Ethan is, and that's just not someone I want in my life anymore. Which is really sad because I've been a fan for so long.
You're killing me with that line,
And I'm thinking,
Connor.
you know, if he were to come out and apologize and like take everything I've said, you know, to heart and to himself and come out and apologize and say, you know, look, I still believe what I believe about Will Smith, but I should have been a little more sensitive. I should have just acknowledged like I'm Not Black. It's about 3 black people. It's about a black woman's hair, which is, a huge part of
It's about free black people? Did I hear that correctly?
their identity, especially, I think he was like in the 50s, he's 50 or something. So, I want to acknowledge that there's definitely some context here, and just acknowledge that he could have gone about it a little better. I think that would go a long ways for him. And I honestly think that if he did that, then I would come back, I would consider it. But like I said, he already made a second video explicitly saying he's not sorry for anything, which blew my mind. That's why I waited to edit this video and waited to release it, because I was like, oh, maybe he's apologizing now. But of course, he just doubled down. And so I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's going to come out and apologize or address anything that I talked about here.
No offense, Conor, but you're kind of proving my point with what I said earlier. Like, white males, I don't even want to say white males, just fair-skinned males? What do I even say? God, now colorism got me confused. Anyways, it's interesting because you said, okay, well, I wanted to wait and edit for this video because, he might have apologized. And then I saw that he didn't. So that's why, I went ahead and edited and uploaded this video. And it's like, that's crazy that you could say that with so much confidence with 32 subscribers. Like, that's just like, whoa. Like, I wish I had that level of like confidence, because I definitely didn't. At 32 subscribers. Actually, I don't think I started at 32. I don't even remember how many subscribers it was, child. But besides the point, it's just like, that's interesting because like you're kind of speaking in the aspect of like if Ethan would see this. Like for me, for example, when I post a video, I never think that Ethan, Trisha, Jeffree Star, none of these people are ever going to watch my videos. They're never going to care. So if it ever happens, it's always so shocking. But at the end of the day, like, no, I never think that they're gonna see this video. Like, that's just so crazy that you said that. No offense, Conor. Again, absolutely fine, but I am so shook by that.
And he doesn't have to. It's his life. He's really successful. He doesn't owe the world anything either. Just like
right,
I don't owe
exactly. He doesn't even know who you are.
Just to be
exactly.
clear, I wish him the best. No hard feelings. I mean, there are actually really hard feelings, but I do still wish him the best. Anyways, thank you for watching this video.
Okay.
Really appreciate it. If you liked it, then please like it. If not, then let me know in the comments. Because I guess that will give me engagement anyways. So it's a win-win.
Yes.
So anyways, thank you for watching. See ya.
Got you, Conor.
Are you one of those?
Thank you for your thoughts, sir. I really do.
No, they had a school.
I really did want to know, where your thoughts lied. And I just liked your video, by the way. I will link it in the description if you guys want to check it out. Comment on his video. Show him some love. I know what it's like to be a small YouTuber trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. Really, really interesting. Really interesting how many people are speaking out about Ethan, and it just seems as if, Ethan does not care. I don't think Ethan cares. And if he does, I think he already shot himself in the foot. Because, he already apologized, right? Like, very vaguely on Twitter. Like, it didn't seem like he really cared that much. But he did do that. And that's another thing. It's just like, it just shows that you're just performative. Just performative apologies, a performative whatever.
We'll have the podium next week.
And I honestly think that he gets himself in these situations because he thinks he's funny. I actually just came across a video a couple weeks ago, or was it a couple days ago, that Ethan actually was interested in getting into comedy, which I don't know why these people think they're funny. I don't know why you guys, I don't know where you're seeing it. I don't know, especially due to just like comedy for me ties in with a hard life, being able to overcome hard things through laughter, right? I don't see that in no Conor, my bad. See what I'm saying? I don't see that in Ethan, Def Noodles, Dennis. Like, I don't see that in these people. Like, what? No, please. No offense, but please. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Let me know what y'all thought about this video. I am going to get out of here and finish my pizza and wash my face. Also, definitely don't forget to go show Conor some love. Take some balls to sit here and get a video up with 32 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? We need to get him up a little higher, maybe at the 100 mark, even 50. That would be amazing, right? I remember those days, man. I remember them. Anyways, love you guys so much. See you in my next one. I'm thirsty, so literally. Oh.
Put it out the coupe in the lot, 12 for a squat, all the bells out the box, hit the lick.